Shaylee here with Serious Dallas Moon. Um, there is something happening with Saturn. It's Mars summer. Mars is on the Balgadi. Um, in the 12th house right now, ascendant mean heaven ruled by Jupiter. Moon is applying to square Pluto from Taurus, Saturn, leaving the conjunction with Neptune. Okay. Saturn in Aries is co-present with Aries in Aries. Aries in Aries is not LGBTQ. I mean, it is also manifesting as that, but it is Mkultra, Mkoften, cloning, androgynous agenda, the agenda to make people androgynous by force, um, experiments in human beings, um, ritual abuse, trafficking agenda, the Ubermensch project, the Nazi paperclip scientist project, and just the presence of Saturn in Aries is basically um, the implications. This is why the Epstein list was exposed. And today I got that. I know a person for whom Aries is in the 10th house, and they may have been participating. It's a very, very, very intricate issue because even with paperclip, some of those scientists try to try to be capo, try to be of help, and some of those scientists use help or the help and consultation professions to target the individual and then sacrifice them. In any case, they could have taken this job because they were about to be a father and needed money, and I see how it plays out. And basically, the individual that they were sent to target was targetable because they did not have a present father that fathers because of lineages to do with the cloning project. They were susceptible to be ritually abused because they did not have a father that fathers. Um, for various reasons, okay? And now, when they are a father, they have another baby to take care of, because or provide euthanasia, which is also because now there's a person that was targeted even before that to human experiments, but now they have participated in those human experiments, and there needs to be a solution. Mars's solutions. Because what happens is when people are these human experiments, the goal of them is to create terror, um, is to create terroristic people. They rape people until those people agree to commit war crimes. And of course this affects the families of the scientists or the practitioners involved. Now, usually a person doesn't agree to become a practitioner of Mkoften or MK Ultra without a background of something happening to them. So there is something very implication related. I was speaking about NATO yesterday and how those human experiments are basically carrying implication that in the battlefield there are missing soldiers on all frontiers, and missing connection between soldiers. Sovereign to sovereign connection is necessary for people to literally sacrificed their life for the unit. People are not as vehement at sacrificing their lives for those who raped them. Communities, okay, because Saturn ruling over Pluto's communities. The power of community was the power of community used to sacrifice an individual. This is literally karma for targeting individuals. Did people use the power of community to target an individual? And that is going to have implications because now each and every individual of that community is being targeted as well. Because they were thinking to make money and to win assets, whether it's housing, by dehousing, raping, torturing, uh, whether invisible ways where the person didn't have a way to escape, or the person was, or the combination of invisible ways, which the person would look crazy. They would look sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, doing weird things, um, and escaping hospitalization because this happened in hospital, or in invisible ways where one would not be able to tell that something is happening, but they would be basically tortured or raped. And what would happen to such a situation? At that helplessness state, a person would say, well, they would agree to commit a war crime. They would agree to kill children so that it wouldn't happen to them, so that the child would die, because they understand that the child's parents were practicing that. And they understand that those people want to bring children to be tortured to commit war crimes. Um, so Saturn in Aries is basically the beginning of implication to the Ubermensch project, the cloning project, Mkultra, Mkoften, and it shows that in time of actual war, this is actually it what caused the Nazis to be looted, and that's what Paperclip didn't take into account. It caused the persecution of the Nazis, and it causes the persecution of the secret societies that practiced this project and grew up in those settings. And it's to the death because they didn't leave, they weren't allowing people to die, and they weren't allowing people to live. So now they're persecuted to the death, or that they would stop these projects. I mean, it's not about, if those tortures and targeting stop, then, but people need housing. Now people at the aftermath, they can't trust anything. They can't trust being able to walk outside and return. They can't trust being able to sleep. They can't trust people you know, and they're gonna need, basically, they they're gonna need to be provided for the rest of their lives. Somebody that was being regressed to point of a child and harm there is going to need being provided for the rest of their life. There was a developmental stage that they couldn't go through maturing, that will forever need tending to. or euthanasia. But there is a lack of trust in every system because all those systems were corrupt. And if something happens to them now, they will agree to kill children so that these children wouldn't suffer. Okay, to kill children with euthanasia, or to kill masses of people with euthanasia, or to diminish the suffering of the people that are tortured. But also, there would be limited agency because that's the meaning of torture. And the individuals that are targeted are civilians, they're not secret societies. This is Neptune. Neptune brings the problem to the entire community. Any outer planet with Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, where many of these projects took a real, okay, this affected segments of community that hadn't affected before. And the same with Neptune. So those are civilians. Targeting individual project was done on civilians. And the people that made money by targeting individuals now need to be caretakers or provide euthanasia or be at risk that somebody would agree to um, kill them if they have an agency to kill so that they wouldn't suffer, because it's not even about hurt people, but at least to kill so that they wouldn't suffer, because they see that the family is suffering because they made money by targeting individuals. But then when if a person is genuinely tortured, if the person is raped or trafficked or something like that, they don't have an agency, so they could be harming that families because they wouldn't be themselves. That's the meaning of these tortures. So solution must be found because now it's affecting the those who made money by targeting individuals. And again, they got there somehow. They got there, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to secure themselves, but by targeting an individual and these are people that were already harmed in therapy. They were tortured at hospitals, and it's a worldwide issue. Or they would provide some sort of euthanasia where at least, if there's no solution, then at least that the person doesn't suffer. Now, Saturn is implications. It means that the families of, or the dear ones to those that were practitioners in Mkoften and made money from, okay, and here's the thing, they can't They know where the money went, so they can't. They know where the money went, so they know who made money. Now it's classified budget. It's an organized crime. They know who received money to target individual. And also they wouldn't want these people to speak. If somebody made money by targeting an individual, the best thing would be right now is to either provide euthanasia for that individual, or make sure that that person is not harmed. In a way that honored that person's sovereignty. And let me tell you something, all of these resources that they made and more will be going to that problem that is created by the fact that they targeted an individual. One way or another, if that individual is harmed, they will be harmed because they would, it's to kill one another. And here's the thing: if that individual is harmed, they are losing their agency in the situation. Sovereignty, sovereignty, sovereignty. Else, the people that were making resources by harming, even if those resources were their lives, we need to make sure that the person who was targeted, the people that were targeted, or that are targeted, are not harmed. That they're not losing their agency. Or provide euthanasia. Knowing that their loved ones and dear ones will need euthanasia. And for many of them, the fact that they have been participating in targeting individuals or making money from Mkoften or classified projects is already affecting them. So this is not me saying, oh, the people that will do that, it will be. No, I woke up to actual literal situation. Nobody trusts consultants and healers because of Mkoften and Mkultra. Nobody trusts realtors because Mkoften happened to tenants. It's kind of like the next level of nobody trusts the government, but this time it's individuals. And Aries has to do with the founders of. So many of these people are literally the founders of some projects. And those are military projects, but the individuals that were targeted were civilians. They can be also karma for the military operations, because MK Ultra was a military operation, but they can be simply karma to that military operation, but it targeted individuals. That's why it was done to civilians. Um, Marsden Abalgiri emphasizes this notion, the implications to the actions. And that could literally mean that the families that targeted individuals are also targeted. And now they have to take care and protect not just their family, but also the individuals, because that's the only thing that would solve this. Or if they are weapon traders, they have to provide the weapon for the targeted civilians for not for profit. Because now, let's say people will be looting and besieging the weapon trade companies, whether it's because they need weapons to protect themselves or because they were targeted.